Yeah, as far as like, yeah, being casual or serious, anybody can get into it. That's what's great about it, is you can take it as seriously or as casually as you want to, and it's very easy to get into. You just pick up a couple and go any park around here that has baskets, and it's very easy to get into. That's the biggest reason why it's kind of blown up in the past a couple of years, especially because of COVID. It's easy to get out here, and you can do it by yourself or with people and still be socially distanced and not have a problem with that. So.
Tucked away in small parks like this all across the country lies the fastest growing sport in the nation, disc golf. Long and niche sport built on fun and frisbees, disc golf has rapidly grown into one of the most played casual games in the US. According to UDisc's 2022 Disc Golf Growth Report, there were 11.6 million rounds of disc golf logged on their app alone in 2021. Every state in the US experienced a double-digit percentage jump in activity in the last year. The recent success of disc golf is built on being readily available and easy to play for all. For those uninitiated, the sport is exactly what it sounds like. A game that follows the rules of regular golf, except it's played with a set of frisbees. The same is true here in Rochester, New York, where the Greater Rochester Disc Golf Club has experienced record turnout since the beginning of the pandemic. The best way to learn about an unfamiliar world is to observe it through the lens of those best equipped to speak about it, the players themselves. That first led me here to Basil Morella Park in Greece, New York. The first group I followed was a group of 4 men, all of which had never met each other before that night. They varied in experience, ranging from one who had been playing since 2008 and had competed all across the country, to another who had only started playing because he had worked from home since March of 2020 and picked up the game as a way to get outside during the pandemic. July 7th, 2022 was his first ever sanctioned event.
Yeah, I mean, the office I work at, I work for paychecks, and we got sent home, and then that became a permanent thing, and I live a half mile from the course, so ball golf, it takes a lot more. There's more of a production, there's more of a cost involved, you're paying every time. A lot of my friends, I was getting at that age where they're all getting married and stuff like that, so they weren't around as much.
A lot of disc golf origin stories have fairly humble beginnings.
Buddy of mine, me and a buddy of mine were drinking a six-pack down at Ellison Park, and he had a couple discs in the back of his truck. Started playing, as compared to real golf, I actually improve at this, so I just kept playing over the years. It's free exercise, it's fantastic, I love it.
It became apparent to me that experience level didn't matter, regardless of whether you've been playing since 2000 or 2022. Events like this are welcoming to all.
I think part of it actually is how easy it looks, but once you get into it, because of how easy it looks, a lot of people are drawn to the sport. Once they get in and find out that, much like real golf, it's not so easy to just throw a good 400-foot drive. It's not so easy to constantly sink putts inside the circle for the green, and that gets everybody addicted. I think it's because it looks so easy, and because, yeah, let's face it, once you buy the discs, it's free. I mean, if you can get to the park, you got 18 rounds, that's it.
A common theme was that a lot of the guys there were just happy to be playing with other people. One of the people in the group I followed told me, quote, "It's tough to keep playing against yourself from last week." And another told me that he thinks the biggest thing that people get out of playing with others is watching everyone's shots. It adds a bit of excitement to see how creative people can get on the course. It's no surprise that the natural beauty of playing in a park like this can be enticing to many. Beyond the faint hum of cars from the surrounding streets lies a course woven within a beautiful set of woods. Holes at Basil have the players shooting in between standing trees and over fallen ones. In many ways, walking a disc golf course is similar to any other trek through a park or the woods. One thing that draws the players to the course is the ability to essentially gamify a hike.
So I came to the park. I do a lot of hiking and traveling for hiking and mountain climbing, so decided to be in the woods. Might as well give disc golf another go, and started playing and got addicted to it. And I play every day pretty much, as long as it's not raining.
But for some, the pleasures are a lot more simple.
Mostly just being outdoors, sharpening hand-eye coordination, staying healthy. It's a good hike. A lot of outdoor courses have a lot of hills to them. You know, basic, just sunshine, and that's it.
There's an element of community building that goes into disc golf as well. According to UDisc, on average, 5.28 courses were built per day in 2021, and over 90% of them are free to play. Events like the weekly singles here at Basil Morella double as social events. Players often come early to trade or sell custom discs and to meet new people, or even learn more about the discs they have from more experienced members. Others come early to work on their putting game or walk the course. However, some courses aren't being kept as well as they should be. Brian Cota mentioned to me that he wishes that Monroe Community College would update their course more often. He said that MCC has, quote, one of the best programs for groundskeeping in the state, and he wishes that the college would integrate the sport into their curriculum. As of 2022, the course had been closed for almost 2 years after being deemed, quote, no longer safe for public use, and the Greater Rochester Disc Golf Club has still not received word from the college on whether or not there will be an attempt to restore the course. The course is currently a husk of its former self. Blocked off from the rest of campus with a strict no trespassing sign, all that remains is a mile or so long stretch of land with holes littered every few hundred feet. The course itself seems to be overrun by foliage, and the local wildlife has returned to reclaim the land it once called home. Environmental concerns regarding the sport are nothing new. A 2011 study by Sylvia Trendafilova suggests that increased foot traffic on disc golf courses could potentially lead to quicker erosion in the soil on the courses and a destruction of the surrounding foliage. In a separate study from 2011 on the demographics in the sport at the time, she came to the conclusion that the more a sense of community is felt amongst those playing a sport, the more likely they are to volunteer their own time to clean and restore their playing grounds, writing, quote, when they asked why they volunteer, a golfer responded, well, because this is my park and I play here and I like it a lot, and because no one else will do it because no one else really cares. Even though the sport runs the risk of damaging the environment, growing awareness of the issue from players like Brian Cota and a sense of ownership over the playing surfaces will likely lead to a larger percentage of the populace becoming more active in the upkeep of disc golf courses. Another residual effect in the growth of disc golf as a whole has been a change in demographics in those that play the sport. In that same 2011 study on the environmental effects of the sport by Trendafilova, she made note of the lack of female players in the sport, writing, quote, while on the one hand it seems that male population of golfers is fairly convivially oriented towards the female population, on the other it appears that the females feel somewhat uncomfortable and are hesitant to join the space as participants. Since the start of the pandemic, participation by women has grown exponentially. According to the Professional Disc Golf Association's year-end demographics report in 2021, female membership in the PDGA increased by 67%, while new female junior membership increased by 87%. Disc golf is getting younger and more diverse, which can only prove to be a positive moving forward. Disc golf isn't just growing as a sport, its community is growing exponentially by the year. Through the time of the pandemic, new players have been picking up the sport every day, making the disc golf community more diverse and knowledgeable by the year. Moving forward, the opportunity is there to make disc golf the prevailing casual game amongst people of all ages, races, and classes. And the growth of a sport this simple and relatively cheap goes hand in hand with the kind of community building that is needed in many places throughout the country.